Hey, nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you so much for this call. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries.
Merry
So-
Christmas as well.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. So you're running an agency, correct?
So yeah, I've just started. I come from a video production, content production background,
Yeah,
and I've always seen kind of ad creation. I've worked with Facebook ad advertisers, but this is my first time running them for myself. And I left my full-time role a couple of months ago, 3 months ago, to spend full-time working on my agency. Yeah. And
yeah,
I've been working, given kind of consultation to a few different companies, more on the kind of content production side. And then I've
yeah.
just been helping this small brand launch with their Facebook ads. And they're
Okay,
kind of my first person working completely doing Facebook ads for them.
cool. And how's that going so far? Getting good results?
So the campaign started on the 26th, and there's been no sales, no conversions through it yet.
Okay,
There is, yeah, so it's like one campaign. Inside the campaign, there are 4 ad sets. In each ad set, there's 5 ads, and it's the same ads through every ad set, same creative through every ad set.
yeah,
And each ad set has one audience targeting set to it. So yeah, so I guess my big question was, and it's £500 is that the client wanted to commit to it for the moment. So it's £500 set at the campaign level, £20,
per day.
£20 per day.
Okay,
So it's low.
yeah.
So I guess my first question was going to be: is that budget too low for the amount of creative I've got going at the moment? Has that been spread too thin?
It kind of depends on how your timeline, like how long can you run it before you have to cut something, because
Yeah,
you want sufficient data before you like make do conclusions based on what results you're seeing. So
yeah.
it kind of depends on the time, but it would take a while, I think, with a 20 per day, 4 ad sets, 5 ads per ad set. Yeah, that's a lot of variables. So it's going to
Right.
take quite a bit before you should just let it run for a while before you make any changes.
Yeah, yeah, because it's all obviously still in the learning phase at the moment.
Yeah,
And the it's obviously it's set to conversions is the objective for it, but does it need to hit? And I know you can get results within the learning phase still, but to move out of the learning phase, does the objective need to be 50 sales, or is it just merely 50 people clicking on the ad, or how's that going to
yeah.
work?
So 50 conversions. So that depends on what objective you're setting on the campaign level,
Mm,
or on the ad set level. So if you put that as conversions, which is sales, then 50 sales, right? You
right.
can also put the objective as add to cart or view content. And then you will
Yeah.
have, of course, more of those events being tracked because it's lower than the funnel. The
Hmm.
problem is Facebook will then optimize for people that adds to cart or clicks through onto the website, which is not the same as people who would buy, right? Like there's actually a lot of people that click and like kind of look at products, but they don't really buy. So you want the campaign to optimize for people that actually purchase. So is it a high ticket product or what is being sold on?
No, so it's a hair and skin care brand. So it's a beauty sort of cosmetics brand, and it's all natural, all organic, fully recyclable containers and everything. Audience targeting I've done on the 4 ad sets is one kind of around cosmetics, and then around kind of well-being and people interested in organic stuff. And I've kind of gone through my research and reading up and stuff. It's focused just on the UK at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And the audience sizes are all more than 250,000, but kind of not more than like 5% of the users of Facebook in the UK. So it's kind of all around the 15 to 25 million range for each ad set as the audience size.
Yeah. Okay, so that's broad enough. And like the thing that for me, like when I start a campaign for a client like this, and I'm kind of unsure like how much testing can I actually do before the client is going to start complaining and like, hey, we need results. Because like running a test like this is good if you know you can run it for a long time and you can then get the results, then you're confident that this is the best ad set to focus on moving forward, right? So there's value in that, but it costs to run a test like that. There has cost to it. So kind of, if I were you, I would kind of, depends on the client, of course, but if they want to see results quicker, what I sometimes do is I just go with one ad set, which is maybe just, if I know like it's a beauty brand, I just do cosmetics, or I stack multiple interests in that ad set just to send kind of Facebook in the right direction. And then I just focus the whole budget on that ad set and maybe 3 or 2 ads, right? And the reason why I do that is for that, like that ad set is going to get more spent quicker. So it will learn quicker. The ads are also going to stack up social engagement, and they're going to be more clickable over time. When an ad has a lot of likes and comments on it, it tends to get a better click-through rate. So that's like something you could consider if you need results quicker. Just go with one ad set, go broad, and yeah, just let Facebook kind of figure out the targeting more itself over time. So for this client, do they have a lot of data on their pixel? Have they had a pixel for a long time, or did you?
It's a new pixel, and because it's a rebrand. So this launch is for a rebrand actually. So they've had the brand for about a year earlier, but they had problems with the naming and stuff with another brand, and they've spent about, I'd say, 15 grand with 2 other agencies, and pretty much got 0 results from them. And I've been through what the other agencies have done, and the creative seems decent, but like on my layman eyes, the construction of the campaigns look really bizarre to me. And already I'm seeing more kind of click-through rate in the 5 days I've been live with my campaign than the other campaigns did. But obviously I'm completely new to this, so I'm not aware of conversations that were happening or tactics they were using. So I'm not too sure why. And also I'm aware of how competitive this space is as well. It's not really the ideal space for someone new to Facebook ads to be starting off in. But so it's a new pixel. It's all new information for it. If you were deciding to just use one ad set, would you simply keep the same campaign, turn off 3 of them, and then just bundle the other targeting into one of the other ad sets? Then
you can do that. You can do that because then you build on the data that ad set already has gotten so far. The point is just to focus all the budget towards that one ad set, so it will get more data quicker. And
then once you feel like there's enough data coming through, then start building out other ad sets to try and broaden the audience further, or split that one ad set down into
or just scale that one ad set if it's scalable. The thing that is like Facebook has changed over time, Facebook advertising, like going broader is now more powerful than it was before because of the machine learning. So of course that depends on how much data the pixel has, like how much data you're feeding Facebook. But over time, when you have consistent conversions and you see that the ad set is learning and it's getting closer and closer to getting out of the learning phase, then you could it's more scalable because you don't need to put in new ad sets and do all the targeting yourself. You just increase the budget. And if that ad set is not like a retargeting ad set, it's a broad ad set targeted towards cold audiences, then you can just scale that one and focus more on the creatives than the targeting. In the beginning phases, if you don't have a lot of pixel data, then yes, it's best to do a bit of testing on the like what interests should we focus on, or if you have a lookalike audience, they tend to not work as well anymore, but could be worth testing if you have a lot of historic data, like a customer list or a email newsletter list or something like that. Just to send Facebook in the right direction in the initial stages, and over time, Facebook will learn themselves, and you don't need to do too much on targeting. You don't need to make it too advanced.
Okay. Yeah, I've set up a retargeting ad set that haven't turned on yet, focused on interactions on Instagram interactions on Facebook, and video views as well are the three that are going to set up there. Because is it right that the your own data, such as website traffic and stuff, just isn't going to be as useful because of iOS 14?
Yeah, at least you get a lot less of it.
Right.
People that opted out of tracking is not going to be matched up with their user on Facebook after they go into the website. So they're not going to be included in that retargeting audience if you're only doing website visitors. So to broaden out retargeting, that's also something that we do for some clients, as you are doing. Like, we include engagement with your Instagram, Facebook page. The problem is when you broaden it out like that, there could be a lot of people that engage with the ads in the top of funnel campaign, the ones that you target towards the call audiences, but they're not really that warm yet, you know? So it's kind of like, it's a big leap from just engaging with the first ad to now being in a retargeting audience. So kind of depends. If a client has a lot of traffic, then we could just do like add to cart, one ad set with add to cart, but then you need a lot of traffic. So that would be a bigger e-commerce brand, because then it's really personal, right? You can like ask, hey, did you miss this? And then they see the same product that they added to cart. So yeah, it kind of depends. But for retargeting, you can do it like you're doing it now. And then if you see it's not working, you can go to only website visitors, for example. Maybe it's not going to spend, but then at least you're not going to waste any money on people that aren't a warm potential customer.
And the other thing, I guess, is the numbers are tiny, but there are people clicking through from the ads to the website and then not converting afterwards. And that could just be that they're the wrong audience at the moment because the numbers are still so small. But then the website, there is a landing page, but I think it's potentially quite weak. And I watched your video on the Custom Cuffs website, the kind of breakdown of that, which was really, really helpful. And there's a lot of kind of stuff I think I can take from there to get the client to kind of change about the website to help improve conversions. But would you be willing just to look at the landing page just to get your initial thoughts on it?
If you want to share your screen, you can just go over it together and you kind of show me it here. Is this the one?
Yeah, that's the one.
All right.
Yeah, so the whole push of the ads is the 20% discount, and then you get 10% off your second order. And then that's the founder talking about why he started it and why it's so important.
Okay.
And then the thing is so it was a bit of a rush to get this out because the product wasn't quite ready yet. So the images there are just the what are they called? The SKU images that I then added some graphics to, and we're still waiting on doing the actual lifestyle imagery for it.
Okay. Nice. I'm just gonna look at mobile because it doesn't really matter too much, the desktop.
Yeah.
So
it's a bit skew with the buttons.
Yeah. So there's a lot of friction here. The first thing that I'm noticing, there's a lot of friction. And I kind of get it. You want them to get the intro, watch the video, but it might be hard to make this profitable because it's not a high ticket product.
Yeah.
So when there's a lot of friction, that can eat up all the margin. So I would just at least test that. Try to just send them to one product, like one product page. I don't know which one you would choose. You could also like run a carousel. When they click on one ad, they get to that product that they saw on that carousel card. But yeah, for sure, I would try to minimize the friction to an absolute minimum and just get them in here. And I guess you can still have that video maybe below somewhere. You can have like a section here with like about us or like about the brand or something. So they can still, for the people that still want to read more and do more research, they could come down to below the product and do it here instead of going through all the steps previously. Yeah, because like that's the main thing with the conversion rate optimization is like the above the fold section, right? So everything that happens above before you start scrolling downwards. So if they can't see the product immediately, that for some people, they might be thinking that, okay, we landed on the wrong page, or like they might get a bit
Yes.
lost in that process.
Yes.
So especially for products that are not really high ticket, you can just send them directly to the product. And then the people that are interested are just going to go ahead and buy it there. If you did enough selling in the ad, you don't need to keep selling them. It's just adding
Okay.
unnecessary friction. So I would definitely test that.
That's really good. Really good tip. Yeah. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You just want them to click to the product and then click to add cart.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think so, no.
So maybe you can add a section with reviews as well, because that's reviews are super important. You should try to get them on the, maybe you can have a drop down here, or you can just add them below every product in some way. I don't know which app you're using or if they're coded into the team or whatever, but try to get the reviews on the products, each product page, because when you start sending then traffic directly to the product pages, you still want to include those things such as reviews, which is super important for bypassing like the skepticism that people have when they're visiting a new website, seeing a new brand that they haven't done business with before.
There's some really good, really good tips. Thank you. Okay, yeah. So I need to probably, I probably need to do some more testing then. I need to shake things up a little bit.
Do more testing and minimizing friction for low ticket products. That's something that when I started out with Facebook ads and stuff, I thought like, okay, I need a really comprehensive advanced strategy to get good results. So I had like, first they're going to see this ad and then they're going to get into the funnel and then, but the price of the product wasn't high enough for a strategy like that to work. So what I figured, like just minimizing the friction, sending the people directly to the product page and just having one campaign, one ad set and sending them there, it worked so much better and we were able to scale like massively. Sometimes less is more, even with Facebook ads. So that's to keep that in mind. If you minimize the friction here, you will see better results for sure. And then it's keep testing. And I like the urgency up here. That's good. Added the reviews and take care of the concerns that people will have. Like reviews do a good job of taking care of concerns, but maybe there's more things that people would.
There
like
is
all
actually,
the questions. Yeah.
From the actually thinking about what you did on the custom cuffs one as well, there's from the last brand when it had a different name, there was things that people brought up about it that founder actually send me. So that could be an added thing on the website. They're highlighting concerns that people have.
Yeah. You have a FAQ.
At the top.
Yeah, you have one there. And just keep doing testing. I don't know what you're doing on the for ads, but yeah, keep testing different creatives and the offer if it's possible to angle the offer towards seasonal things. Or
and would you always set up your campaign, your ad sets, and leave it to get out of the learning phase before you start changing anything? Like, I think I need to change stuff now before it gets out of the learning stage because it's taken a long time to get numbers up because I think I've probably got too much running at the moment for the budget I have.
If it's not getting out of the learning phase, it's you might as well just change it. Like change a lot in the beginning until you get something that works, and then once you have something that works, let it run for a while. Especially with kind of like cosmetics like this, like you might have to. There's, as you said, like there's high competition, so you might have to change a lot, like constantly refreshing the offer and refreshing the angle and keep, because even if something works in the beginning, it might like get ad fatigue, or Facebook will always start by subtracting like the people that are most likely to buy, right? So after they've done that, you might have to do changes to keeping it fresh and stuff like that. So for the top of funnel, sometimes, you can find it's like an evergreen strategy that you can just run with, and then you can have like a middle funnel thing where you keep changing it. But when you have as tiny a budget as you're doing here, I would just like keep changing it, keep trying new things, and see what sticks, like see what works. And don't be too afraid of making changes, because if you're dealing with the budget you have now, like it's not going to be that high consequences changing something up because you're not getting that much data, and you haven't kind of cracked the code yet anyway. So So don't be afraid to make a lot of changes and do a lot of tests.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries. Good luck. I'm happy I could help.
And yeah, definitely have. And I really appreciate your content as well. It's great to have someone just kind of plain talking and bringing you through stuff in a way that's really easy to follow. So I really appreciate that.
Yeah,
and
great.
great to be in the group as well. And
awesome. Let me
Happy
know if
New
you have
Year.
any questions in the group whenever you're wondering anything. If we can help you with asking questions, it will always help with the engagement in the group. So it's a win-win. So just make sure you ask there if there's anything, and I'll give you an answer.
Super. Thanks very much, Elliot. Happy New Year.
All right. Thank you. Happy New Year. Bye.